Hi, welcome. This topic is about the past perfect. In this topic, I am going to teach you how to form a past perfect and when to use a past perfect. But before we get started, it's good to know that in the English language we have regular and irregular verbs. It is advisable that you study the most commonly used irregular verbs. In this case, now let's get started. Say this sentence: I had painted to door yellow. They had paid for dinner's ten slave, but the sentences are in the past perfect. How do we form a past perfect? For the regular verbs, we use to auxiliary verb to have in its past form, which is had, and the past participle. The past participle can be made by adding ed to the base form of the verbs. For example, like he said, you had worked late, he had cleared the table, she had placed it on the floor, it had snowed. For the plural form, we do the same. We had walked to school. You had watched the tennis match and they had marked the test. They have marked the tests. Now we need to pay extra attention to verbs that end in an e, such as leave, close, and wipe. The verb use had an apart participle, but when forming a past participle, we only use the base form of the verbs and add a d. For example, I had lived there, he had closed the window, and they wiped the floor. We also need you extra attention to verbs that end a and y, especially those preceded by consonants such as spy and study. Here the y become an I. For example, he has spied on his neighbors and we have studied hard. Now let's have a look the past perfect for the irregular verbs. Again we use the past simple from of to have and the past participle, but the past participle has a unique past perfect from. For example, I had built that sheet with my own two hands. The infinitive form of the verb is to buy. She had bought some flowers at the market. The infinitive form of the verb is to buy. We had run the marathon. The infinitive form of the verb is to run. Let's have a look at the past perfect in question for the regular forms. Again, we use the past simple for of the auxiliary verb to have and the past participle. Again, the base form of the verb and ed. Had she kicked the ball? Had they worked on a farm? For the irregular verbs, we also use the auxiliary verbs to have, so, had, and the past participle, and again the unique past perfect form. Had she quiet her home? Had you driven her car? Had they paid for dinner? Let's have a look the past perfect in negation. First, the irregular verbs we use had plus not contracting into hadn't, and the past participle which again is made by adding ed to the base form of the verbs. I hadn't listened to the news. It hadn't rained since Friday. They hadn't closed the windows. This is the example. For the regular verbs, we use had and not contracting it into hadn't. And the past participle, but again here, the past participle has a unique past perfect form. For example, she hadn't quiet her house. You hadn't ever driven her car, and they hadn't paid for dinner. Now let's have a look at when we use a past perfect. We use a past perfect for things that happened in the past but before some time. Let's say in the past. So we use it to coordinate the past. We have two things happening in the past perfect, and the past perfect happened at the farthest point in the past. For example, had brushed my teeth before I went to bed. For example, so first I brushed my teeth and then I went to bed, and but this thing happened in the past. Another example is the decide to buy a car after the old one had broken down. So first the old car broke down, and then they decide to buy a car. Thank you. This is topic about the past perfect, about the structure and when it is used, and examples. Thank you.